Bernanke's saying the money has to end because they've already bought everything up. He says unemployment increases that will cause political combustible issue and destabilization and conflict. He says rising joblessness threatens to set off political unrest across the globe. So they're saying this, but like beaters beating the bushes to drive out, the mastodons over the cliff. We're the mastodons. This is all crazy like a fox going right towards their world government. So, Gerald Celente, your take on that?
Well, whether they cause it or exploit it, it's going to happen in the sense that you also have worldwide unrest. Latvia, we saw it in Greece, Iceland. You're seeing it in France. You look what's happening over in Spain. The unemployment rate is almost 20%. Ireland, the UK, and in the U.S., you're going to start seeing it happening, whether or not, and then again, as I said, they are fermenting war in the Middle East with the escalation in Afghanistan and in Pakistan.
So that's clearly a false flag. Clearly they know they're stirring the pot on purpose.
Exactly. So whether or not they create the terror or the terror is created from their actions, one way or another, they're setting the stage for it. So what we're saying at this point is that the escalation of the Afghan-Pakistan wars are setting the stage for terrorism at 9/11 levels. Again, whether manufactured or real, we're going to see it. And the people, you look at the poll data now. Most people are in favor of these wars in the United States. So if they say, we're being attacked by Islamo-fascists because they hate our liberty and freedom, the people are going to swallow it again.
Gerald Celente, Trends Forecaster, what did you think about, or did you see, the Pakistan president? They're saying, why are you helping terrorists? And he goes, Al-Qaeda, Taliban was created by the U.S. against the Russians and pushed. You guys are using them to destabilize us, which is what's really going on. They don't control all the groups, but they nudge them and fund them and stir them up. And he made that point, and the person interviewing him on NBC kind of shut up. It seems like this trick is starting to wear a bit thin.
Precisely. And a matter of fact, in this next Trends Journal, summer edition that'll be coming out in a few weeks, we're reviewing the history of Pakistan, which we had written about when they assassinated Benazir Bhutto in January, I believe it was December 2007. And now her husband, Zardari, is the president of Pakistan. Well, they used to call him Mr. 10%. Because he used to take 10% of all the government action. He did time in jail for being accused of raping the government of $5 billion. It's one criminal enterprise after another. And we're in the thick of it.
Absolutely. Gerald Celente, I don't know if you've seen this yet. It just came out last night. Washington Times playing some one of millions, crazy imams, bragging about if we had one fighter to bring anthrax to America and kill hundreds of thousands. I've seen this months ago. They take this like it's breaking news and say he works with the gun-owning militia. Then they tie militia to white supremacists. Same thing that they do in the DHS report that says gun owners, veterans are the number one threat. And we see all of Homeland Security, Northcom, being set up to suppress a legitimate revolution by the American people, or a restoration, which you've been predicting. We've got Zolik at the World Bank saying this is coming. They're clearly now swinging around the Homeland Security system, the apparatus, to point it at the American people, saying we are Al-Qaeda. So they clearly know they're about to do some things politically where they're going to sick Homeland Security on the general public, and they're training local police departments nationwide. This is confirmed that veterans will come back and bomb you with IEDs, and that the veterans work with Al-Qaeda. Do you think this new load of bull is going to sell?
Well, again, if there's an attack of any kind, whether it's manufactured or legitimate, the people respond very quickly by fear, as we saw with Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. They'll swallow most of what's fed to them.
But now they're going to say the gun owners are the terrorists. They're going to say, oh, Al-Qaeda hit us, take the people's guns. The gun owners are Al-Qaeda. I mean, that is really over the top.
We don't believe, by the way, that Second Amendment rights will be repealed. I mean, that's our, and I'm a strong advocate of Second Amendment rights.
Why? Because they can't get away with it?
They will not be able to get away with it. No matter how hard they try, you're going to have states that are going to be more stringent than others, but overall, they're not going to be able to stop it. The protest will be too strong. We will say that in our lifetime, unless, of course, there's something beyond anything that we're talking about right now that happens, they will not get away with taking away our Second Amendment rights.
Well, I agree. We've got a good chance. The pro-gun culture is growing. Women are getting into guns. People are finding out how great it is to be, to defend yourself. But what I'm asking you, because I really want your opinion on this, is the Homeland Security documents that we broke. It makes a nexus between gun owners, veterans, and says they're the number one threat, and basically are Al-Qaeda, are white supremacists. Now I'm seeing that as a drumbeat. White Al-Qaeda, it's totally asinine that white Al-Qaeda works for bin Laden, is going to release anthrax. What I'm saying is clearly they're trying to get ready to sick Northcom on the American people. How asinine is that in your view? A. B, will they get away with it?
Well, I don't think that that's going to be one of their first steps. And yes, they can get away with anything at any given time if the conditions are right. But we wouldn't see that as the issue right now.
Well, they've got a lot of chutzpah, though, to try to...
Well, they'll try anything, Alex. You know that. And then they keep throwing out these trial balloons to see how far they'll go. But the thing that we have to watch out for on an individual basis, as we see it right now, is an economic meltdown and people making sure, for example, with the seed companies you're talking about, planting your own gardens, being as self-sufficient as possible, understanding where your money is, will you be able to get a hold of it, finding careers that are going to pay, because you're not going to be able to get a job going to college with a useless degree that they're putting out now.
All right, stay there. Final segment with Gerald Celente. We'll put his website up on screen for you. Trendsresearch.com, trendsresearch.com. My sites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Just always amazing having Gerald Celente on. Final segment straight ahead. We'll talk about how he sees the economy unfolding here.